Firstly, I'd like to present a representation of the Maritime Precinct down in Portsmouth. I guess my first question to everyone, how many of you are aware that we have a maritime industry up here in Cairns? That's pretty good. I delivered a presentation at TAFE not so long ago, and we got not too many were aware, and only 2 people turned up for the Maritime Careers Day. So this is really good. But why I did this is to give you a good representation of what we are that supports the current maritime industry in the shipbuilding and support. Okay, so we've got, I work here at the Regional Maintenance Centre up here, and we look after and look at the oversight and maintenance and management of the naval vessels. We've got Tropical Reef Shipyard here, we've got Austell, and we've got Norship Shipyard here. Okay, so the uniqueness of those yards, they all perform 3 different capabilities in supporting vessels. I'm not here just to push defence. I am defence, I am currently Navy. But what we hear is if we're working on a grey vessel, the same tradespeople in our industry actually work on the reef vessels, the fleet, the reef fleet, the tugs, the trawlers, and the larger cruise ships that come in as well. So trades and apprenticeships and front and back of house people are really important to where I work and supporting the industry, the actual maritime industry. And I'll go into what the maritime and marine industry really looks like from a Cairns perspective. And also we've got the Great Barrier Reef International Marine College here, okay, and we sort of work closely with them with future opportunities. I'm working on a defence industry pathway program that will actually support the defence industry, and it's not actually trade related. So when we talk about these 3 shipyards here, okay, a lot of people think trade related, okay, but however, without trade relations, we need a front and back of house, so that's business, financial, commercial, and also your naval architects and your engineers. And you heard a lot from the TAFE, the JCU, and CQU, okay, and trades related. So think about when your children want to look at trades and people go, no, I would prefer them to go to university. Give them a trade and an opportunity to seek that. It's really core skills for when they go to university. The best engineers I've worked for are actually trade related, and they've actually changed over throughout their career. Okay, so some really good opportunities in there. But part of my role in the Regional Maintenance Centre, I've actually worked with Jobs Queensland in developing the Queensland Workforce Strategy, the maritime and aviation. It's really been really fruitful for the industry, more so for the maritime side, for understanding and being industry-led. What does industry want and where do we go in the future supporting the industry? Okay, because Cairns is getting bigger as a hub in itself. So right down here in the small creek up here, in probably 3 years' time, we'll see a common use facility. That's $360 million committed by state and federal funds. Okay, so that'll be supporting future vessels and ships. We're talking 120 metres, 5,000 tonne. That's huge. At the moment, that's just a creek. Okay, so when you go down through Portsmouth, when you're teaching your kids how to drive, go down through that marine precinct and you'll see the bunting and the banners up there now that's saying the Cairns Marine or the Common Use Facility. They'll be up there by 2028. It's your children that'll be working in there, like, you know, with all those trades. So this is why it's really big. This industry and the capability is getting bigger down there. We know it's coming. Okay, so now we are tooling up with the universities and the TAFE to understand what do we need to tool the industry up. Not machinery, but people. Okay, we're looking at ageing population, Exhibit A, but we need to take that through. And I need to retire, but that's the things that we look for. We look, you know, obviously, we've technologies that are emerging with, you know, with additive manufacturing, reductive manufacturing. There's trades and skill sets we need to be looking at into the future. We all know, and it's all online, the visiting nations that have been here. Like we've got the US here, we've got the UK, we've got the Canadians, we've got the French, we've got the Indonesians to see for the support for when their vessels do come here for maintenance activities. Okay, so that's what we need to be looking at supporting. Okay, so my next slide here is this is part from we're working with the Regional Workforce Development. Okay, so this is the other side of the Cairns maritime and marine industry. It's not all about supporting vessels in the 3 shipyards. Okay, Cairns is all about, you know, supporting the game fishing and, you know, what's the Queensland Navy base, but the super yacht hub. It's one of, you know, it's one of 4 places for the super yacht hub. The cruise ship industry, 100 cruise ships a year. The bulk carriers exporting the sugar and molasses. This is what we need to be looking at as well. So as I said, it's not just the trades and the shipyards, it's the people who are supporting this. Okay, so when you think about the businesses who support that, like the small and the supply chains, we've got the caterers who support that, we've got the drivers, the transport, and like, you know, as well as the industry, we talk about the reef boats. We need to be looking at that as part of the industry and how we work with those as well. Whilst the maritime industry is not an industry in itself, we pull upon different industries as well. We've got the mining, construction, tourism, hospitality, and also the transport. Transport for our marine qualifications, i.e. you've got your captains, your navigators, your masters, and then your MED. expertise. So these are the things where it comes really important with the industry. So like you can work in the shipyards and also you can go to university. You can, and a really good example is the general manager at Tropical Reef Shipyard there. He was an apprentice. He was an apprentice at NQEA Shipyards. Okay, so there's progression and transition through those and leadership and management roles as well. So don't just think trade related, but you can progress throughout your careers as well. So these are areas that you need to consider. This is what Cairns has got to offer, and here we are. They obviously the figures there. It's just not Danny making this up. This is what we obviously coming from Jobs Queensland and the statistical data there, the jobs growth increase, and also some world-class universities here and the TAFE as well. And you've heard the presentations here, and so. I'm working through the workforce development strategy. Okay, so this is a plug for Jobs Queensland, and we're fortunate enough, I do have a couple of copies outside there if you have a look at. Have a look at there. It's got the strategies that and actions and the outcomes for both aviation, Chris there, and maritime for us, but understanding what strategies and actions, there's priorities, what we need to address, and the key themes that we need to be looking at and looking at optimising opportunities for skilled and capable labour. We're talking with aviation in regards to how we can share those skill sets. You know, a flame plies, a ship floats. We need navigation, communication. Yeah, we can share those trades so we're not sort of doubling up on obviously teaching and facilities. And then obviously this sort of circles around here as well. But I don't want to go on too much because I don't want to double up on everyone's presentations tonight. But there's some really good information here, and consider your kids doing a trade or front and back of house stuff, but how they can support the maritime and marine industry. It's just not the 3 shipyards, but it's also about that ecosystem in itself as well, and transferring of those opportunities. Okay, and there's I guess the business owner of one of the companies that support, sorry, my apologies, but she started out on boats serving drinks as like the cocktail waitress. Now she owns the business. Like here, you know, she's gone through there, drove the ships for Sea Swift. So really good. She gets and knows it. So please, just go for it. But that's it. Thanks.